Okay, so there's no chance of me sleeping. I was like trying to go back to sleep. So anyways, if I seem like I'm out of it, I am out of it. I went to bed or went to sleep. I don't know. I think I was like 6. But I didn't put on, like, Holly keeps saying, like, the tunes are messing with you. The binaural tune thing. So, last night I just put on brown noise. So it's just like a shh, like a fan. And, it was still, it's weird. It's like as soon as I go sleep, it's like this jolt awake. And I had some insight to it. Oh man, something was shown to me, but I can't think of what it was. That happens sometimes. Like you see something, like I don't know. I think it's what some people think of as like a deep meditation or something. I can't pull it out sometimes. I can't remember it. It's like it's so clear in one state of consciousness, but then when I go into the other, then it's like I can't. I don't know, but there was something about that where I could see it, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, it made sense. But now I can't remember how to explain it. Plus, I'm tired of shit. But it was just this jolting awake, and then I kept being super uncomfortable and tossing and turning. And I would be super hot. It was just like, oh my gosh, what the fuck? So then I get up to check, and it's like, I don't remember. It seems like it was like, maybe I got up once again before that. It must have been that I got up and then I went pee or something and went laid back down, and then I got up again. So I know it wasn't the first time I got up, and I looked and it was 10. And I was like, fuck. And then every time, if I move, immediately Stella's like, oh, okay. It's like I can't even open an eye. I think, and something I've noticed that I don't know that I can explain, because I was just laying there. I was like, okay, I just want to go back to sleep before I start doing this. Because I was sitting there. Well, I got to start doing her stuff, and then I was sitting there. I drank a cup of tea, or whatever you want to call it, my nutritional powder. No, because that's a thing. I think nutritional powder, nutritional yeast. Yeah, this is a bunch of different things. So, anyways, let me think. So I was laying there, and I got up. And, I think I got up and I was looking at TikToks. Oh, yeah, because I was answering the YouTube. I was talking to YouTube, and it was like real time. It was like, somebody say something, I say something. And well, Holly had said something else about people looking at them and stuff. And I remember noticing that it's like the more, it's like something you can't see, but it's more your light coming on or something, I think. And people just get mesmerized watching. And you'll just find people staring at you all the time. And they'll just be watching you. And I don't think that they even know. But anyways, yeah, it's weird. But I think that there's something about that. But so I went, so I was talking to them, and then I went on TikTok. There was some messages or something. So I went on there. And then I was watching them for a few minutes and getting like a feel for what was going on. And lots of weird shit, man. Fuck, lots of weird shit. And then I was like, fuck, I'm just too tired. I just feel tired. So I just want to go to sleep and just get up in a little while. My next time, in another hour and a half. And so then I was laying there, but this is the thing, is it's like my brain is awake. My eyes can be shut, and I could be laying there like it's asleep, but it's like inside my head, it's like I'm awake in a room. And I don't know how to explain it. It's like all the lights are on, all the talk. It's like I can't go back to sleep. I have to get up and do that. That's why even if it seems weird, it's like tired and stuff. It's like, even if I lay there and try and go to sleep, I can't. It's impossible. It's like the lights are on inside my brain, and it's just conversation explaining things and telling me and showing me things. It's like, okay. So, the there was something that was interesting. There was some interesting stuff that I was seeing, but I only think, because there's a whole bunch of stuff. It's just like flying around like a fucking tornado or something. I'll start somewhere it seems easier. Like that appointment yesterday, and the doctors just being so mindless robots, and just, it's like drug pushers, and not even think for themselves. Because I just saw some more stuff, some more videos. It just is more confirmation, and I don't know. I mean, you'd think that they would have something inside of them to think for themselves and think like, why is everybody getting sick? Why is all the, and to not think it has to do with the environment, and to think like medicine is helping people. I hope that really did make a plant a seed in her mind yesterday when she said that. I said, well, I've been sick since I got off all the medicine. It's like, it's a scam. It's like, come in, feel insecure, have an issue, and then they bank on us having issues, and they depend on it. They're creating it. And a long while ago, I was talking about the this military espionage, this espionage world that we're living in, and we don't really know, and how they get these people from the military and they make these like militia, and like these corporations have this militia, and there's all this espionage, and especially when it comes to science. And I just saw a thing, when I was talking about that, and I just saw a thing that is a part of something that's being disclosed right now. And the person who was talking about it was saying this one group of these Navy SEALs, I don't remember the name they went under, but then they were bought out by a corporation. Like, there's all this stuff, and they went to prison or something, or they were in trouble or something, and then Trump let them off. So I don't know. I would still say, if he was letting him off, then it was something finagling going on, or something weird. There's something that we're not seeing. Because it's like all these people these corrupt rich people, or whatever the fuck these people are, they it's like they do all this stuff, but they're still people. It does not align with them. So it doesn't have to be Trump is a fucking savior or a saint or any of this shit. It is just somebody who does not align with the stuff that these other people do. And, more and more of those people came together, and just had to do with just a moral compass. Just like, all these people allow this. All these people will do this for money. All these people. But there's always going to be people who come into the group. Not everybody is going to be the same saturation of this dark energy. So there's always going to be a counter. It's just the way the universe works. So there's a counter to it. And it's like, it just got so dark and heavy. It's like, I think it's the introduction of money, though, in this certain tone. It created such a darkness and so much greed. It is like, it's kind of creepy too, because it's almost like this Mad Hatter Joker, creepy, like laughing clown of, it worked, creating so much chaos and stuff. But it's in the people, and the people come in, the souls come in, or into the experience, or into the story, or whatever, to see those sides of themselves. And I think too, to recognize like throughout your different storylines, the different darkness that attaches to you. So it is like a cleansing. You got to be able to see the darkness to be able to cleanse it. This place was like a house of mirrors. So people could be hidden from their truth. People wouldn't know their truth. That's why it's going to be so impactful. People are always like, oh, they want the truth. They want the truth. But the thing is going to be, it's going to be your truth. Something that you have not been seeing about yourself. That will be the truth. But it's just on different levels than what people are thinking. And you know that the criminal element thing, you know, the fucking convoy, there's drama on the convoy again. And of course it's those fucking liberals showing up at the hotel, slicing tires. It's like, oh my gosh, you guys, it's so easy. Like this other side, you know, they don't have to do much. Pay some guys, go up, slice those tires, go blame it on them. It's how these motherfuckers work. And on a huge scale. Like they go into other countries and blame issues on other groups that they themselves are the ones that did it. They created it and then they blame it on other people. This is what they do. And it's like these people don't seem to get it or something. And I mean, because they're still all hung up and caught up in it. Like everybody's got to get out there and vote. They're going to go like all this stuff. Like I don't want to just keep beating a dead horse. It's just like, oh my gosh, this is something that is definitely here to play out. And I just saw this video. It was kind of funny too. It was this younger guy and he's like, Civil War? I don't think there's going to be a civil war. I don't think there's enough people could get off their couch. They have to have DoorDash to bring them their McDonald's. I'm like, and also he's going through this whole thing. And he said there'll probably be some fights or something. But yeah, that'll be the thing. Is it's going to be, and like how I see it, I know I can't explain how I see it. But it's kind of like you get what's coming to you. You get what you're supposed to get. What is supposed to happen is supposed to happen. And it's like they're walking into their own stuff. And so it's supposed to go the way it's supposed to go. There's no stopping it or making it different. And so whatever's supposed to happen with these people, it definitely seems that their own anger and division will be exposed to some of them, but some of them there's going to be some sort of consequence. Like there has to be a consequence for the others to see, to create the change. So there's going to be some sort of consequence. I don't know what it is. You would think out of just conjecture over the atmosphere of our climate that it's going to be something with violence and it's going to be something with these things because that pushes their other agenda and then pushes the agenda if they're going to have this global police. But see, I think Vladimir's stepping in real quick and saying, hey, we're on their side. It's like they keep trying to diffuse these situations where they had it set up to come in, but still you don't know who the players are. You don't know who's who over good guy, bad guy kind of scenario, except for Vladimir. And that one you can bank on because of the Nisargasar thing, the peace treaty. It's all about peace and equality and like freedom and like, I really don't think there's going to be all these boundaries. So it's really weird when I hear him talking. Oh, sweetie. It's really weird when I hear him talking about, oh, well, as soon as I get back in, we're going to get that wall done. And we're going to get this. And there will be no more of this. It's like, yeah, but we're moving out of this controlling government thing. And I don't know if it's just they talk like that to get people to be like, but yeah, that's kind of weird. Like, I want to be able to go where I want to go. I don't want to have a passport. And then more and more control. Like, well, if you've ever had a felony, you can't have a passport. Well, if you've done this, you can't do that. Well, you do this, you don't do that. It's like, it's just all this fucking babysitting us. Like, fuck off. And So so much that has to fall apart, and all these different jobs. Like there's all these jobs that people are like fretting over. Oh my God, UPS is laying off 12,000 people. This place is laying off. Amazon's laying off. Blah blah blah. All of them. And it's like what did I say? I said this was gonna happen. I said all these people who are holding on to these jobs. Oh, I gotta have this job. I gotta have this job. I said the job's gonna be ripped out from under them. All these jobs are gonna end up going to robots and shit. We're changing. We're not going to be this dependent, oh, give me a job, please, give me a job, kind of society. It's going to be way different kind of society. But it's like all these things have to fall apart. And it's like the people who can pick up the pieces and move forward will be the ones that move us forward. The people who fall apart and can't handle it will be the people who, you know, it will be their learning or growing or something. But but it is this transition. It is this changing, and so there is not going to be these kind of jobs. Like I don't like them saying UPS is laying off all these people. You know, UPS. If you live rural, you're kind of dependent on. I mean, unless you have a fortune to run to town all the time and get shit. UPS is, you know, a savior for me, and so. I was like, I don't know how they're going to do it. I would think there's going to be things that are going to change. I mean, there's going to be so many things that are going to change. You just got to be kind of like, okay, well, let's just see where it goes. Okay, well, let's just see what happens. Because they can end up being like you still can order things. Maybe there's like pickup centers or something. I don't know. And there can be like a collapse that's going to occur that we're going to have to feel the pain. You know, we have to go without some stuff. And it's kind of like I've been seeing that coming. That's why, like, even at the store yesterday, when I was getting stuff, I kept getting 2 of everything. They had this honey butter that I love. It's like you whip the honey and it becomes like this butter. Stell, let me finish my work, please. Hold on, 16 minutes. And I had it before and then was gone. And then I had gone down to the farmer's market thing and I had bought a big thing of honey and I brought it home. And it was local too. And I brought it home and it was the honey butter stuff. I was like, okay, I think I'm hooked on the honey butter stuff. And then all of a sudden I couldn't find it. And then yesterday they had it again. And so I got 2 of them. And I'll probably eat them all real fast anyways. But it's always a thing too. It's like I want to keep this stuff, but then it's like, well, you want to keep it just to look at it. And it's so funny because I got in an argument with my brother one time. This is like such a long time ago. I had 2 kids, and I lived in California. Like I said, that I had some siblings come to help me because I got trapped there because I got divorced, and I got trapped in this other state, and I had it was hard. It was a really, really hard time in my life, and anyways, he moved in and was my roommate, so to help me out and stuff. And I would go to the grocery store because I worked. You know, that was when I was the office manager at the doctor's office, and I would go to the grocery store and fill the cabinets. And I'm telling you, even with the job like that back then in California, I still lived in like a poor part of town, like our apartments. And it's weird because we weren't that far from Disneyland. But we'd have helicopter lights coming in our apartments. And that one guy, when I went out to move my car, and he asked me for a ride, and I was way too nice. And so I said, sure, I would drive him down the block when I had to move my car. And then I get pulled over by the cops because he had just robbed a store. And then, so anyways, there's always something. And that was a fucking ridiculous nightmare. But anyways, when I had my brother, I would go to the grocery store and I would put the food in, and then I would get mad, apparently, if he would eat any. And he would say, what do you think? You're just putting it in for decoration just so you can open the cabinets and look at it? But I am like that. I am. I like to just look at them like, oh, it just looks good. Everything's there. It's like every time something disappears, it's like, oh, there's less. There's less. Oh my gosh. I don't know why. I don't know if that happens with other people. And it wasn't even where I grew up poor or something, where there was not enough, where it was like, oh my gosh, we're going to run out. We're going to run out. We'll never get it again. I don't remember having feelings like that. But I do like to be able to have the stuff in the cabinets, and then it was disappointing when the stuff goes. I don't know. It was just some sort of weird fantasy of like dollhouse filling your cabinets, but then you really have to use this stuff. I don't know. It's just part of our quirks, our weird parts of us, I guess. But I'm sure there's other people who have weird stuff like that. It's not just me. But anyways, I had bought a bunch of stuff at the store. And that's what those ladies kept saying, because I kept buying it. I bought 2 of a bunch of stuff. My cart was pretty full. I mean, it's just like $350 for the stuff. And I don't know, like when you are right in town, like downtown grocery store, they probably don't, I mean, I don't know, maybe they don't get a lot of big orders or something. Maybe people just go in all the time, like go in every couple days and get stuff. I don't know. Anyways, but I had to stock up and get a whole bunch of stuff. So I feel more set, like right now, if shit went down, I definitely feel like, oh, I'd be fine. I don't feel like I feel like I've got wood, I've got water, because I got that. I got food. I always feel like prepared. And then shit will just drag and drag and drag and drag. And then it'll start getting to the point where you need more stuff. And it's like, oh my God, then it starts feeling like, oh shit, is something going to happen? But now I've got it on my mind so much about this thing with the auction. Like if they do auction at March 1st. And so yesterday I saved the boxes that came with my Amazon stuff. I was like, no, did I? No, because my groceries. Yeah, that's where I got the boxes. I brought the groceries home with them. So I saved these boxes. I was like, fuck. Maybe I better start packing. Like, fuck, I don't know. Give me a sign. Give me a sign. Show me something. Come on. And then maybe the sign is just my kids being like, well, what you gonna do, Mom? What you gonna do? And maybe the first thing I need to do is save up and get. I could get like an old. There's a place up the street that sells like these. They have a couple of old school buses, and I don't know how hard those are to keep running. Who knows how much gas they suck? But it's like you could rip out the seats, put your other stuff in it, and you could still kind of stay in it, even if it wasn't all fixed up. And then, because I was even thinking, you know, if all this goes, like I've got my plan B, where, okay. And then plus it's like, what stuff would I want to take? Like, would I want to take a TV around? Would I want to, like, what things would I just let go of? And what things would I take with me? And that's a whole thing. But anyways, my mom has a shed. Remember, she has a shed I talked about. And before she had said, well, I could sleep out the shed. Because I have my little one. Mine is finished inside. Hers isn't. Hers is a literal shed. Mine's not. Mine, I need to redo the windows and the insulation. And so when I redo that, well, like it depends on which direction things go in my life. But it was, in mine, I want to redo the insulation and redo the walls inside and redo the roof. I want to winterize it, put in new windows and stuff. So I wanted to really, really fix it. Cool. And, but my mom's is just a literal shed. I don't think it's like you got to put in insulation and you got to seal the holes. You got to put in paneling, put in some kind of wallboard or something. And so anyways, hers is just like holes and stuff. And so she had me out there sleeping. I was like, okay, I'm just camping out here. But I was like, okay, well, I could always go there and just clear that out and finish it inside. And then stay in that while I got like a van or something and started finishing that. And then, me and Stella just take up in our van and go and drive around and go on the road. And then I would still have my mom's place, the little shed, if I fix it up. I've got a home base. I could even I could put all my stuff in it. Well, I don't know. It depends on what stuff I would take. I don't know. It's just weird. It's like facing the unknown. But I was like, well, then I could just go off and, I forgot my braids still kind of in. I could go off and just drive around and find. And plus, though, you don't know what's to come. Like, fuck, today earthquakes could start. Well, oh yeah, I was talking on here. So I was recording. Yeah, I was sitting here, I was recording. Whoa. And I said, the ground's vibrating. And so I said that in the recording. I'm positive. And so, you're so sweet, honey. And so I was saying it was vibrating. And I don't know what time that was. It had to be when I was recording. And then, like, fuck, all the time. It's hard to put it all together. But I know when I lay down on the couch, I just don't know how long it was after I recorded. Because I didn't, it could have been like an hour and a half or something. So I recorded, I don't know what the fuck all I did. So I don't know when I finished, what time it was, or whatever. All I know is when I laid down on the couch, it was vibrating so much that it was uncomfortable. And that was another thing too, that was just like, oh my God. And I sat up and I was like, what the fuck? So the vibration, and this is the thing too, is like, because I could feel, like, it feels like everything's vibrating. Like, I feel a vibration. Like, everything is like shivering. And you can't see anything moving. And it's not like an earthquake. Nothing's rattling. An earthquake, you'll hear popping. You'll hear something will start shaking. You hear an earthquake different. This is like you can't hear anything, but you can feel it. And so I kept thinking, well, is this coming up from the ground? Especially because that one guy was saying that the 30th was going to be this new thing underground. We were going to find this whole new civilization underground, and it has to do with water and all this stuff. And so the vibration, I was like, man, could it be something coming up from the ground? Could be the ground unsettling, even the tectonic plates. It wouldn't be that shifting, but it could be something like, there's a whole bunch of different things happening. And so I was like, man, is it something with that? Or is it just this energy? And the more sensitive that you become, or the more that you, I don't know, ascend or release or something, that you feel it all. So you can feel, like, I can feel the energy or something. And the loud fucking pops and stuff in my ear, and the loud fucking screaming vibration sounds and stuff is like, oh my gosh. But I can feel, like, everything feels like it's vibrating. Like, it feels like everything is just like, it's weird. And so, anyways, now I'm focusing on my hair too much. So, I may as well look at it since we're focusing on it, so you can see, because you have to just see for yourself what you think. Like, it's this part seems to be going slower, but it's like, I mean, it's gonna go. I feel certain it's all gonna be gone. I bet this must just take longer. But this other part was going faster. And this part, God, I hope it hurries and fills in. Yesterday I was trying to do this weird hairstyle thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, look at that. This whole fucking section is like gone. So that's why I keep doing this weird part, because that's where I got, where I fell and split my head open. I kept thinking, that must be where the scar is, and it keeps parting my hair weird. But then yesterday I was trying to do this braid thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, this braid is like missing half the fucking hair. I'm sure that's the radiation, the fucking radiating us to fucking death. There was some other stuff about that too. Because chemical, man, it's all just going together to me. All the pieces are all just fitting together. All the things about aging. Man, going to that appointment yesterday, it was like going into a completely different reality. It's like in the Barbie movie when she's like in Barbie world, and then she leaves and she goes into the other world. that's what it was like. It was like these two distinct worlds. That's why I was like, it's totally different realities. Fuck, everything seems like it's moving. Oh, that feels weird. And another thing is weird. So I went on YouTube or TikTok, I was looking to see what was going on. And I started seeing all this stuff about was saying, for one thing, I was saying, okay, so tomorrow, man, that's weird. So tomorrow, James O'Keefe is going to do this huge release, this big, huge thing. It's supposed to be released. And then somebody even said it was like 4 p.m. at 4 p.m. Eastern, like this whole time thing. It's going to be released exactly at this time. But then they were saying on 2/1. So these other people are saying tomorrow it was going to be released. So that would be the 31st. But then there was other people saying it's going to be released on 2/1. But then there's other people who have these videos that are saying 12 or 1:31. So today's 1:31 for them. It was still 1:30 for me. And it was really fucking with my head. It was like, is it 1:31 for this person and that person and that person? Like, the people who think James O'Keefe is tomorrow on 2:01, is that because they're already on 1:31 and I'm still on 1:30? And this has happened, like, this isn't the first time that I have seen this happen. Or just, I mean, it just trips me out. There's no explanation other than we're all in these different realities, and time really, just the illusion that we're even on the same clock. We're not on the same calendars. We're not on the same clocks. Like, we are, like, it's like this independence of realities. And so, I don't know. That's what it feels like to me when I'm seeing this and seeing, like, because it's weird and it stands out to me. So here it's 11:30, then I go, 1:30, then I go on to, it was 11:30 at night. What time is it? Now it's like 12:40. So 1:30 at my date. Then these other people, it was 1:31. Then these other people saying that he's going to talk tomorrow. Then these other people saying he's going to talk on 2/1. So anyways, it's just weird. So I don't even know. And so he said this whole long thing on Twitter, apparently. And so, everybody's on the edge of their seat. There's going to keep being these really big things and a huge drama too. Big dramatic things. And they could even have somebody like, say, James is going to release this big thing and then he disappears. Like, I think they're on those kinds of things too, is because it's all about this awakening to get people to be like, oh my God, what do you think? It's all about this shock factor. So some of the stuff is like re-dramatizations. It's like creating this big drama to get attention. So I think that there's a lot of stuff that's kind of fake. And it's kind of weird because it's like this awakening to the truth, but then there's still this fakeness. But that is a part of, like, I don't know. It was a part of, like, what people have to see. And it will be kind of like, well, people will accept it because then they'll be awake and they'll be like, fuck, they'll see how hard it was to wake them up. They'll see how stuck they were and they'll just appreciate getting unstuck. Anybody who is stuck being in the mind trap, once they get themselves out of it, then they feel the relief, like, oh my God, thank God I'm out of that. And it's just so wild to just see so many people so trapped in it, so dependent on a whole fucking, like, these people have people seriously trapped into dependency and insecurity, and they have them at their beck and call, and they are totally wagging the dog, man. It's like, there's creation of their civil war situation or whatever. And the thing is it doesn't have to be a whole big thing. It's about the division. It's about what creates the division. Oh, and another thing too, and this was in Denver, I think. 2 big fancy hotels. And this person said they're completely full. All these hotels are completely full with all these immigrants. And so she was talking to them or something. And they are all from Venezuela. And Venezuela was one where they were saying they were going around door to door. And I will be curious to see what goes on with Venezuela in the maps or something. Like, I don't know necessarily, like, our government is going to go pay all these Venezuelans to come here just for a vote. Like, there's something more going on than just that. And so these 2 hotels are completely full. It's got little kids, families. So see, this whole thing, what they keep saying, oh, it's all these military age men, just to beef these people, just to get these people scared, just get these people all tense and nervous. Like, we got to get down there and battle these criminals. It's like, there is tons of families and shit. They're coming. There's something going on. There's something more that we don't understand that's going on. And she said when she talked to these people, yeah, they're getting 3 meals a day. They're getting everything paid for. The thing that is so ludicrous is that it is all of the homeless Americans and people starving, taking people's houses, making it a crime to be homeless. But then they're putting these people up in hotels and stuff. They're bringing them over, they're putting them in hotels and feeding them and housing them and who knows what all. Like, all I know is that something is going on. You know, it's not just what these other people are in fear of. There's something more. And, you know, I know a lot of it is about the awakening. Because even if the homeless people, all the different people have things that they've allowed into their lives that they have to overcome. It's like they have to overcome something. It's like you have to want more for yourself for more to come. It's like once you overcome that, it's like all the things that are coming to hit you is to get you to be like, I want more. I want more for myself. I don't want this. And that is like what's put you in this other timeline is to know, I do not want this. And that has so much to do with the awakening. And so all the people who move into that kind of knowing what they want, it's like it starts pushing you towards there. But there's still things that you have to learn on your journey. In order to become who you want to be, it's not just an acknowledgement. It's not just a dream. There's steps to get there. So you really become who you want to be. But you have to go through the journey to get there. And the reason you want to be who you want to be is because the desire was placed, because it's the desire is the destiny. It's the role. It's what you came into play. And I think it's the connection. It's the knowing, the understanding and connecting to that aspect of yourself, rather than just sit back and always be, you know, like wishing you had that, wishing you had this, wishing you could do that. Instead, it's connecting to what you're there for. And so, because when you're always distracted, always wanting something that somebody else has, then you're not present and you're not meeting your potential. You're always feeling bad and always feeling like it's not good enough. You're not good enough. You're never satisfied. And so it's more important to connect to that inner desire and that inner knowing and that inner trusting yourself, that it's all about this development of self so that you can reach your potential. And it's important to put that energy towards you, not just sitting back and thinking, you know, everybody else has it better. Everybody else has what I want. Because, you know, until you're going towards yours, because whatever yours is going to be the most satisfying thing that you could ever imagine. Because it's there to satisfy you. So you think like, oh, if I got what they want, I would be happy. But you wouldn't. It wouldn't satisfy you, because you have to go towards what you're supposed to have. What you're supposed to have is gives you the completion of feeling that you got everything that you wanted, because it's a part of your destiny. It's a part of your puzzle pieces. It's your need. It's your necessity. So it doesn't matter, you know, whatever it is. It could be like, it could be something so simple. You know, it doesn't have to be extravagant. It can be, you know, like you're the well-known dog walker in your community and everybody loves you and everybody depends on you and you have a good relationship with dogs and everybody goes around and is always friendly to you and you have tons of business. And that whole feeling of being important in your community and being so loved is going to give you everything that your heart could desire, much more than, chasing somebody's vision of what success is finding what gives you the internal stimulation that you require, because you have a requirement, but your requirement has a position that it follows, that is your track towards your destiny, towards you, where you find your fulfillment. That makes so much sense too. Like, people do just totally get off track. You go towards what you want, it fulfills you in a way that nothing else will fulfill you. And that makes so much sense. So that's just another reason too. Another reason to get in tune with yourself, to know what it is your desires are, what it is that you want out of life. And, and then when you see these people who are going in this darkness, but they're following their desires, it's like there's a consequence, there's a part to see this other side. But see, they're going towards to see this other side, the dark side. But when you're following your desires, you're going towards the light side. So you're going towards the good side. They're going towards the consequences. You're going towards the completion. So it's two different kinds of things. So even if you're going through something and you hit into consequence, the consequence is to redirection, is to push you towards, to redirect you back towards your desires, towards getting in touch with your truth inside of you, which should be connected to unity and love, respect for others. It shouldn't be built on, everyone is your enemy unless they agree with you. And that is what we have so much pockets of in our current situation with so many different people. So all these different people, it's like they all have to put down their weapons. They all have to surrender. They all have to say, that's why the universe is going to show them they're not perfect. That's why these things are going to play out, to show them to show them themselves. This stuff has to play out so they will see that they are inferior, not like inferior, like not good enough, but not that they're the same as everybody else, that they aren't better than other people, that they're sitting there saying, oh, those stupid people, that they will be on the highlighted, they'll be on the main stage of stupid people. And who knows what it's going to be. I mean, there's, so many of us can see there's a setup going, and besides the violence, besides that there's a lot of characters who aren't, probably who they say they are, or implants, they're actors. And that is something that they have said over and over and over. There's all these actors, there's all this misinformation. And this was kind of cool. This was in, I think the Dominican Republic, someplace. It was like out in I don't know if they have like some kind of church revival setting thing, and they're out in tents or something. It was like they were out singing, and it's out in the like jungly looking, and they were out like singing, and all of these light beings showed up. It's a whole shit ton of them. I don't know if this is some kind of CGI, something that somebody messed with. There's a lot of that going on too, but it's really cool. It's really cool. It's like a whole group where, I think in a certain vibration, that whole group could be a ship. It's like it's like the beings, because then they're like, well, this could be angels. It's like, you guys, it's not fucking angels. It's beings of light. We're all beings of light. That's what we are. We're all energy. We're all light beings. And so in the ships are like an enclosure, because like we are energy, like we are light beings. So we could gather in a group and shield ourselves with our energy to create a propelling device to move us through. And that's the kind of stuff I think that we're going to be learning, like from these different people. But see, we have to be so much more connected to our light body and disconnected from our three-dimensional body. And this is a step down process. You know, it's a whole thing. And they've got people trapped in the medical. Like, I'm still having to, even when I can see through their bullshit, I still have to go to them to ask for the stuff to be taken out of me. And I want to. I'm going to keep trying with my mind. You keep shrinking it and shrinking it and shrinking it. And, you know, all the things, like fucking everything in my mind, you know, try and shrink parasites, shrink fucking any of the shit. Like, I still don't even know what they're going to come back and say about my blood test. You know, if they're going to come back and say, oh, well, we found something. You know, because I feel certain like we all have shit, especially right now. I mean, there's such a, even when I wasn't being able to sleep and stuff, and I didn't have those tunes, because, well, Holly, he was like, well, yeah, that tunes, because his bird died listening to the tunes. And it jolted his bird, you know, made his bird like seize. And so he's very suspicious of them. So he was like, don't listen to those and see if you sleep better. So I didn't sleep, but I was jolted awake, and here I am fucking up in the middle of the fucking night again. And but I was thinking, I wonder also in this spray if it could be something with like caffeine or something to make us on edge, to make us stay awake. Or if it's not just the energy, but if there's some kind of what is that thing called? Not that, affirmative, no, it's a kind of like speed or something. I can't think of the word. Kind of like CA, a strength, no, and I'm seeing a bunch of different words. Well, you know what I'm talking about. Some kind of a stimulant, some kind of a something to put it to spray on us to make us feel nervous. And because I mean, that can create, well, they've got such anxiety disorders and shit that can create strokes and heart attacks. There's some weird case going on in Florida where some immigrant boy who can't even speak English was being attacked by a cop, and the cop had a heart attack while he was attacking the kid. I told you anything that was going to happen was going to happen. I said everything that can possibly happen is going to happen. And it's just like, it just keeps going. So he was attacking this kid who wasn't doing anything, has a heart attack and dies, and now they're charging the kid with murder. Then there's this whole weird thing. Like when I first saw the footage, I thought, you know, maybe it was CGI, like maybe it wasn't real. But apparently it's real. West Virginia, I think it was, when the guy drove off the dock. Well, I don't even know if it was a guy. I don't know who it is. Could have been somebody who was paid to do this. Like, I was thinking, even that crime in Kansas is getting so much attention. I was like, I wonder if that even, you know, you have some guy, you know, maybe he's done some shit. You know how like when you go in, they'll arrest you. Like if they find you connected to somebody, they'll follow you, find something, you know, to arrest you on, or harass you, get you in there, start harassing you and trying to get you to, you know, trying to pinpoint you so you have to do this crime, finding shit on you or whatever. You know, it's all this manipulation and coercion and shit. And so if they get those people in there to do that, but then they get people in there to commit the crimes too. Because there was a whole weird thing, like that Las Vegas thing, that showed a lot of weird shit. And I think that exposed a lot about, like, they're getting these people and going and setting the people up too. And making it like, well, you have to be here at this time. But then the people don't do the thing, but the people get blamed for it. And then they even scapegoat them, red tie them, and make like that they did it to themselves. Like, there's so much crime shit. But I was like, fuck, even at that one in Kansas, and they could have, you know, this guy could have done some shit. And they said, well, you know, they want these other guys. And everybody's just a scapegoat. They don't care. They just kill whoever just because they need some drama. They need something. The news needs to focus on this. Keep drawing our attention and getting us to, and usually it brings out, the news, I think, brings out so much with judgment and fear. It feeds that beast of judgment and fear inside of people. And see, there's all these things, like, but you had to notice that for yourself. You had to be watching the news and go like, oh, this feels dirty. It feels icky. They're just trying to make me just think everybody's stupid or make me so scared of everything. But you have to notice that for yourself. Otherwise, you've got your dark energy just in there lounging and having drinks and enjoying the party. But each person has their own barometer to know, and that's why this is like this reset, is like this resetting your barometer, resetting your moral compass. This is why you have to like relook at so many things. Like why so many things seem to be like these moral dilemmas. Like, oh my God, what about this? But what about this? Well, what about this? Because everything is teaching you there's no black or white. It's all shades of gray. It's all, and we can't all zoom in and be on judgment. Let's all gather around and judge and point fingers and throw stones. And that is the higher mind. That is the moving out of that, controlling energy. And then it's so weird how these people are, like they think they have some awareness of this control. Like they're so scared of the WHO or whatever, and they're so hyper vigilant. But then they don't realize, like, you guys are fucking brown shirts, man. You guys are pulling this shit. You guys are, some of these people are the ones that we have to be scared of. And then you've got, I don't know how this is all going to go together. It could, though. It could be, because you have this other group, the ones who have brought these people in and marched through the streets with them, waving their flags and are all on their sides, all their conversation. They're just there trying to do good for these people. It's like, it's so strange, so strange. Yeah, my poster, I wrote this poster, making big changes here, bringing a lot of awareness. Yeah, but you guys, a lot of us were aware of the fighting in the Middle East. Like, it's new to you guys, but it's not new to us. Like, we have all known. It isn't what we pretended like we didn't know. We all knew. It's like you have to be able to get through your day. Like, fuck. You can't sit there and think about Syria all goddamn day. You never fucking be able to get out of bed. It's just another one of these fucking places where these people are terrorized and traumatized. It's all about this control. It's all about land and greed and control. But, it's like, I don't know, it's new to them. Like, oh, you guys, look, this is what's going on. It's like, dude, it's been going on a long-ass time. And yeah, it's very traumatizing. There's so much in this fucking world that you have to be just like, fuck. So much fucking horrible shit. So much horrible shit with the fucking animals and kids. It's the innocence. It's always the innocence. The innocence is, tears at your heart to see innocence. And because we all had that innocence, and then we all felt it was taken from us. That's weird. I wonder if there is anybody who doesn't feel their innocence was taken from them somehow. I wonder if that's just a part of the game. That's a part of, start you going. Your innocence is taken. Now what are you going to do? Go, son. Make your way in the world. And I don't know. Like, I think that we get a lot more view of this game, I think, outside of the game. Like, in it, it's like, what do you think's going on? It's like all these gamers that get together, and talk about how to overcome this obstacle in a game. And that's why I feel like that we're all, well, not all of us, some of us. Some people are just lost in the game. Some people, but that is why there's going to be so much, there's going to be pulled out from under them. Like, these people have, like, I've done everything, I've tried everything, I can't pay my rent, now my job, I'm laid off. It's like everything is falling apart because you keep trying to put something together that's not supposed to be together. You're trying to hold shit together that's not supposed to be held together. That's why even with this house, it can seem crazy to my kids. I can seem like mom's just losing it. No telling what she's going to do. Maybe she's going to call us, like, I don't know, this month I better just save my check for a fucking moving truck, I guess. Like, I don't know. Be prepared. And and I'm not looking forward to if they're going to make some big fucking embarrassing eviction, because that's another thing. Like, all these people think like, well, she's too poor or something. And I was thinking yesterday, it's kind of funny because I was thinking my kids probably think like, she's just going to lose everything. But I was thinking yesterday, I was like, I have lived here for, I moved in 2019, March in 2019, and I paid that first year. And I was even paying over my payment. So I was paying, I think I was paying like $1,500 or something. I was paying like a few $100s every month towards, because I had planned to pay it off faster. I was going to pay it off in like 12 years or whatever. And so I was making bigger payments. And then shit went down. Then things, we started getting locked down. And then I started, being hyper vigilant, watching videos and stuff, and started seeing about the financial collapse. Well, I knew the financial collapse fit into the abundancy, what we're headed to in the golden age. I knew we aren't going to be, like, I didn't know how it was all going to play out. That's why when I started seeing that stuff, I was like, oh, this is how it's going to go. And so the money collapse, I knew that was something was gonna happen. I knew that there was gonna be all these collapses. Everything was gonna fall apart. But wait a second, because I was going off from somewhere else. The money, the collapse. Man, I feel lost. Hold on. If I can get back into what I was talking about. I just keep hearing hypervigilant, hypervigilant. Hypervigilant about what? We all need to be hypervigilant. We all need to be paying close attention. Yeah, all this stuff is going to be switching. It is going to be like this abrupt kind of switching. There's going to be so much stuff that people aren't prepared for. And just like I said, it's like when people lose things, they don't realize it's like it's being taken because you're not supposed to have it. You're trying to hold on to something you're not supposed to hold on to. And so it will keep taking it. And you keep trying to hold on, it's going to keep hurting. That's why when things are going, you got to just keep letting go of them. Just let go, let go, let go. Is the holding on and trying to put it back. And that's one thing that I keep seeing too. It's kind of like with society. They keep, like these patriots, they keep trying to hold on to the government, hold on to the way things are, hold on to these corporate, hold on to all this shit. And try and tell them how it's going to be, well, we'll get control of them. It's like all this stuff is going, it's like our whole way of life. And I keep seeing these different videos, where people coming in, having these serious discussions about, and there's ones going on about the money thing, that's for sure. But let me think what this one, because this girl was talking about something collapsing, because they're talking to you about the jobs, and all these jobs are going to go to AI, and, like, what are we going to do, and all other stuff. And I get it. I get that this is a serious crisis to a lot of people. But that is the thing. It's like they've got to let go of this stuff. They've got to see this stuff isn't real. It feels like a serious crisis because you think it's real. This isn't real. This is the awakening so you understand. So you can let go of that stuff. So you can let go of this whole three-dimensional concept of yourself, and how it confines you, and how it was used to manipulate you by creating this concept of flesh and blood and aging and death and stuff. So it completely contains and controls you. But, like I said, that is a part of the playing out of the universal thing. So it's not like how these people are all so scared, we're prisoned and stuff. No, you came here to experience that. You came here to go through that, because there's growth in everything, and everything you go through creates growth. It creates an expansion. So you don't, like, all these people are so scared of things and feel trapped and stuff. But no, you can find yourself by, it's like disconnecting from your soul, because like I didn't see things, like I can't say for sure how all these different people live, because I've been living so different. I live so much more connected to the universe. Like, I live like the universe is real. I live like I've talked to them. I live like very, very different. And so I don't know, but each person has to find it in themselves. But the disconnect from your soul, which allows you to go more into the three-dimensional, to be more of that. But because there's all these lessons. There's all these lessons, and all these people, like, nobody's doing it wrong. Just because somebody's doing it different doesn't mean that that's wrong and this is right. No, it's just that there's difference. There's a difference. And that I was living different. But the thing is when things turn, there is going to be a lot more people who are going to be more interested in trying to understand how to trust and live in the universe and disconnect from their trapping of a three-dimensional character that they created. So this transition, there's going to be a lot more people. So there how do people, because I know I'm not the only one. But it's each individual has to for themselves see what it is that keeps them disconnected from themselves. And a lot of disconnect from yourself is like out of necessity, so you can face yourself. So you disconnect from sides of yourself. So it's like you feel like the things are too challenging, so you have to disconnect from sides of yourself so that you can get through the day. Like, you can't think about that. You can't look at that. You can't, all that stuff. Just because you got all this other stuff, you got to get through the day. But that is why when all this collapse happens, it's going to feel so horrible, but it's going to be such a blessing, because people are going to be able to heal that stuff, because they are going to have the time and the focus. It's like the universe is going to push them. It's like they're all so sick, and they're all so sick and tired, and they're all so worn out and beat down. But then it's like, but you're still not doing it. You're still not doing it. So then the universe is just going to it's like a tsunami. It's like the tsunami comes and just knocks them so that they have to do it. And that is this thing that's going to turn everything going the other direction. But it is like the universe is not going to give you any choice, because every time it gives you a choice, you jump back in. You keep jumping back in the pool. It keeps fucking draining it. You fill it and jump back in. And it's like a desperation to keep things the same. You have to be able to let go of the things that were. You have to be able to be comfortable with the unknown, the great unknown. It is like the great unknown, and it is like it's facing me and coming in fast too. But I do feel like I have some kind of a plan. Like I don't feel like the first. Oh yeah, because I was saying that about the losing, the drama. Okay, yeah. Okay, so when the quarantine thing happened, and I was focused on the money thing, see, there was a whole thing where they said you didn't have to pay. They gave some kind of a thing where you didn't have to pay your house payment. And so I did that. And so I didn't have to pay it for a long time. And then once they, in the mausoleum or monastery or whatever the fuck it was called, then they came out and made you sign papers again and start your payments again. And so literally the whole time I've lived here, since 2019, I have literally only, I paid, I would say less than 2 years. And I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm losing something. Yeah, I'm losing my dreams, of my ideas of completion, of all the things I wanted to do to complete this place. But, for like my kids, like, well, you're going to lose. Well, now my one daughter, who had asked me the other day, now she kind of seems like she's changing her tune a little bit. Because I was like, well, I'm not worried about it. I have enough silver. I'll be able to buy a ranch. See, that's the thing, is I'm not worried about, I'm just waiting on the things to collapse, because I've been preparing for the next step. I've been getting silver and getting ready for the next thing. So I was like, I got enough silver, I'll be able to buy a place. I'm not worried about the future, you know. Like, I'll be able to have a place where I wouldn't even have payments or anything. You know, and that was one of my big dreams come true, was to not have payments. You know, so I know that's coming, but whatever has to happen in the in between, because I know there's this huge shuffling, and it has to do also with moving us into safer places. And then, you know, no matter how many maps I look at, this map over here is, you know, my area is gone. I just don't know what the time frame is. And, which, by the way, there's this ginormous part of the ice wall that has split off and is traveling through the ocean at this point. You've got these weird, wacky fucking ships, like this 9-month cruise. It's fucking leaking water. Like, there's all sorts of weird shit going on. Like, you know, people driving into the water. Now they're trying to do this, get this car out of the bottom of the ocean and went all the way to the bottom of the ocean. Like, it's just a lot of wacky shit. There's creatures being seen. Like, there's so much wacky stuff. And the did I just forget again that hold on, let me see if I can catch it back. Okay, so I haven't really paid that much while I've been here. And so I don't feel like I'm losing that. I feel like I've been preparing for what's to come ever since 2020 when they were saying that. I started going towards that. But all the way back to 2016 and stuff, you know, when I started having my whole thing happen, this awakening or whatever. And so, you know, I have known about the age of Aquarius thing coming, that everything that we had was going to collapse, that we were going into this other thing. I didn't know all the specifics. Those just seem to go together more and more and more. More and more comes together all the time. But so I feel like, you know, I don't feel worried or nervous. I mean, it's sad. You know, I had like a lot of dreams and stuff for this place, and I love this place, and I put a lot of work into it. But, you know, there's all these things we just got to let go of. And so I know, anyways, I know that there, whatever's to come, I'll be fine. It's not like I'm worried or scared of that. But it's the one little, the part of like, okay, so are they going to come and serve me? Are they going to tell me I have to leave? Are all the neighbors going to see? And stuff. But they don't know the battle that I'm really fighting. Like, I'm fighting the banksters. I'm fighting the ones that are trying to, like, I'm not going to fund them. And I was even thinking, you know, well, I could call one of these people. Like, I've got all these offers of, well, we'll buy your house right now. And, but then it's like, then I'm putting money through giving the banks money. It's like, no, I'll lose it for nothing. I don't have that much. Like, I have emotions. I don't know. The investment is not where I feel like, well, I gotta get my money back. I gotta get that money. It's like, no, I'm already planning. Like, I don't know what the hell's gonna go on with that money. That money's failing, but I'm not, for fucking hell, I'm not gonna, here, yeah, give me a couple $100,000. Let me give it to the banks real quick so they can try and save their ass. Fuck, no. No, I'll sit here and let it all go. And let that, you know, I'm not going to try and support and piece it back together. Hold on. You got to get through it. I was like, no, I want him to crash. I want him to go. They're fucking corrupt as fuck. And there's some weird shit going on with the banks too right now too. They're trying to, I don't even know. Everything is just in this state of change. Everything is in this a flux of movement, is changing the guards, changing things over, the collapsing, and all the people who are holding on. And yeah, I get that they're scared and sad and stuff, but it's because they think it's all real. It's because they hold on to it, and it's, you know, it's their role. It's the role they're playing. But everybody's got to just let go of it. You just got to keep letting go and letting go. and knowing that what's to come is going to be better. But there's going to be a period of time where it's going to be, not knowing. And the not knowing time is, it's like, it's like a, in the period of time of not knowing, it just gives you an opportunity to advance in your thought processes in different directions that you wouldn't have if you didn't have that experience. That experience gives you these other avenues of thought, of creation, of seeing things. So it doesn't all have to, it's like a transitional period of thought, of recognition of the things you think about when you go through something and how it changes you. So that is a part of it. So even if you have a period of time, like even if I have a period of time where I lose everything, and I have to go to my mom's and go live in the shed and, find a bus and work on that, and, it might be fun at the lake during the summertime, won't be the worst thing in the whole wide world. And, I'd be closer to my kids and be on the other side of the mountain. So there's positive things. But my focus would be, what's next. I would understand that is not where I'm stopping, that is it's like a rest stop. It's like a rest stop and gather. So as you're transitioning through this period, just continue to observe rest stops. You're not stuck there. That's not where you're going to be forever. Everything is just in this transition. And there's some people, like your area, like I think it's the doomsday map is representative if you can feel comfortable in your area or not. Mine, obviously, is not. On the other side of the state, though, it will. It just, as it goes up to the mountains, so supposedly. But this giant ice glacier thing, it's like huge, huge. It looks like, when you see it, it looks like it would just be the ice wall. It's just moving. And I had said that before. I said, I think it could have something to do with the water rising, the ice wall, because the ice wall and the firmament will have to go down, and everything is waters. And so it will rise the waters, and then plus this ice moving into these other places where it makes it unstable for the temperature. So it will create more storms and stuff. So there'll be water rising, and then when the firmament goes too, there's going to be water rising. I think it's going to be water. I wonder, I don't think so. I'm getting so uncomfortable. I don't think the water here, man, I don't know. There's weird stuff about the firmament. There's weird stuff about the atmosphere. There's weird stuff about like where I'm at and stuff. Oh, I don't know. I mean, maybe it could be just raining and raining and raining because there's holes in the firmament. I don't know. It seems like it's just poison. It seems like they're just putting more chemicals in it too. And I mean, even right now, what time is it? 1:20 on 1:31. So this is 1:31 now for me, and it's 1:13 and 1:20. So, and I still feel like awake. I'll just watch a movie or something. It's like it's weird. It's like sometimes I feel like I get less and less sleep. And then when I see people like, well, we got to have sleep. But see, do we? Do we? Like, there's been a lot of days where I've been up, and then not had any sleep, and then been up all day and just been fine. And then there's other times where, you just keep thinking, oh, I gotta have sleep, I gotta have sleep, I gotta have sleep. And then that's all you think about. You feel exhausted and tired. I swear to God, it has so much more to do with our mind. And there is something so weird about, like, it's just like it doesn't matter if my eyes are shut. It's like I'm in a room with the lights on. It's like I'm in a room where it's like, it's not even just a room. It's way huger than that. And it's big and it's loud and it's bright. And so I don't, I don't know. Um, there's a lot of weird things too. There's like weird things too going in between my outside scene and my inside scene. It is like, there's like weird things going. There's a lot of things. And it just keeps, I don't know, it's like transforming. It's like the more that you let go of this concept of flesh and blood, and the more you just accept who you are, what you are, and you're a light being with some sort of a shield, so that you can feel your atmosphere like a spacesuit, so you can feel and experience your atmosphere. And so, I don't know, it's just weird because so many people get caught up in the life of the spacesuit. Like, it's so cartoonish. It's so cartoonish. It's so primitive. It's so, but it's, it's all for this experience. It's all for this learning. It's all for this transition. So even if we just sit here and look at it and just, because the whole thing is weird. The whole thing is weird. It's weird to wake up and realize that we've all been so mind trapped. It's weird to wake up and realize that there's people who just want to mind trap and program other people, that they put millions and billions of dollars into trying to study us, to hurt us, to confuse us, to control us. Like, it's mind-boggling, because I believe that most of us just want to be free and live and love and have fun and dance and eat and enjoy, So, and then to wake up and think like, oh, we got these mad monsters who just try and control us. Oh, and also we're food source. Well, that makes sense because we just eat whatever. It's like people just consume. And then, of course, well, we're going to be consumed. Of course, if we're in that food chain, then we're going to be in that food chain. So there's just a lot of stuff to wake up to. Like, there's people who, I said something the other day about, like that, like, wake up about the, where you are in the food chain. And there's people like, that's shocking to them. It's like, dude, do you know how many fucking kidneys go missing? You know how many people go, like, what? You shouldn't be shocked. What do you think they're doing with all these parts? I ate, what was it, yesterday? Something with the salt. Like, I made some really good peanut butter cookies, but I bought a bunch of almond butter. I even had to stop because they didn't have bean sprouts at the grocery outlet, and they had egg roll wraps. And I've been looking and looking for egg roll wraps. And so I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm going to get the egg roll wraps. And they always have bean sprouts. Of course, they had no bean sprouts and no jalapenos. But I had to drive right past Trader Joe's to go out. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll just run in there and see if they have them. Because you'd think, like, Trader Joe's surely has bean sprouts. No, I didn't have them. But they did have jalapenos. And, so when I went in there, I got that cookie butter. Because everybody's all into that cookie butter. So I got that cookie butter I'm going to make cookies with. And then I got some more almond butter. Almond butter is, like, I think my favorite. Well, the walnut butter was really good. And there's cashew butter, too. But all these butters are expensive. And you got to get the butters that are just the nuts. So you don't want ones that add in, because they add in a bunch of bullshit. So you got to find the nut butters that are just nuts. And then in my cookies, I'm trying to add, like, not a ton of sugar. And so, I don't know, maybe it's like 3/4 of a cup of sugar, or a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of vanilla, an egg, and like 1.5 cups of, or 1.25 cups of flour. And it just makes like 12 or 4, but they're pretty big cookies. Like, the peanut butter ones were like kind of fat. They were good. The almond ones were really good. But anyways, I got a bunch more almond butter. And when that doctor was sitting there, or the nurse practitioner, she's sitting there asking me all these questions, just trying to find something. Swear to God, Just try and find, I can't even get over when they're like, well, who do you have sex with? Like, if you have sex, if you've ever had sex, who did you have sex with? Did you have sex with a trans person? This is weird. This is weird. I don't know what doctors and corporations think. They're just looking for stuff. And oh yeah, because yesterday when I was talking about that conversation and I was saying how it was being, as soon as I argued, it was like, okay, just calm down, calm down. Just take a breather here, take a breather. Just calm down, please. Okay, but no, you don't need to make a whole giant incision. Especially don't fucking be arguing. I've been looking up about this shit with this breast explant surgery. And you're going to start telling me, oh, well, it's a serious surgery. You have to make a huge incision. No, you need an incision like this big. Doctor said it's like 2-inch incision. You can get that out. It's small. And so, and she's like, oh, everything I would say was, look, calm down, calm down. It's like, what the fuck? God damn. And so anyways, I said how I always get these confirmation things. Like, I'll go to a certain way, I'll look at something, and I'll always get these confirmations. So then a little while ago when I was looking on there, so in Massachusetts, or I'm positive it was in M place, but I'm not sure what place. So this big hospital place now has said that there's a whole thing about how you can talk to them. So there's a whole new approach now. You can't say racist things. You can't say transphobic things, but you can't argue with your doctors and stuff. So see, that's a part of it. I knew it. I could just see it. You could just feel it. As soon as you said something, it's like, oh, calm down, calm down. It's like, oh, okay, I see where you're going with this. It's like, you can just see it. And so, and then right away, yeah, this hospital's coming out and they're putting it on the news. There's going to be this whole thing, you can't talk to them. You can't say this. You can't say, there's all these rules now in order to communicate with this practice or whatever. It's huge practice too. It's not just some small one. It's like a whole hospital center or something. But it's like you can just see this shit coming. You can see it all. It's all about this control. It's all about to make you feel like you don't have any, you're nothing. You need them. Well, you would be nothing without them. It's like, but you have to see that they are living, they're parasites. They're trying to convince you that you need them. You don't need them. You need security. You need to feel good about yourself. You need to feel confident. You need to feel like you have worth. You need to appreciate your own value. And they're trying to do the opposite. That's the challenge of the game, man. That is the challenge. It's a lot of stuff to overcome in your soul, in your loving yourself, and knowing what's right and what's wrong, and what's right and wrong for you, what's good and bad for you, and not just being a product of your environment, not just being whipped around by other people's emotions and other people's needs and other people's desires, but to be able to stand and know what yours are and know how you feel. So anyways, did I finish saying about that other stuff? About the guy. Anyways, there's so many weird things. There's so many weird things on the news and stuff. But all these weird things are going to keep playing out. And the medical is going to go to, it's just like a drug center. It's their whole purpose, to make you feel sick and make you go on something. And, you don't heal. It will make you sicker. Because when I said that, I wasn't trying, I didn't have this line just sitting there waiting and waiting. It just came out. Like, she said that, and I just came out. It's like, I'm never sick since I went off all the medicine. And because they keep trying to be like, well, you need to come in, your insurance, and you got to come in and get these physicals. Like, we're trying to catch things early. 2027, you got to get another colonoscopy. And I'm sitting there thinking, 2027, chick, you're not going to have a job. Like, this place isn't even going to be here. You're going to be lucky if you get through this year. And that's going to be a lot of these people, see, they're coming in on that side of it. It is going to be, they're going to be hitting into some walls, just like I was saying about these people over here. It's like they're going towards it. It's kind of like all these people are going towards the crash. It's like it's like a giant pileup. That's what it is like. It's like a giant pileup, and nobody sees it because of the fog. That is so weird. The micro macro shit in this experience. That is so true. It's like the people don't see through the fog, and it's just this pileup. Just people's pile up on top of each other. But it's kind of like they were all connected through acceptance. So yeah, we'll all agree on this. Well, it was going to be their takedown. So that is a part of the collapse. It's a part of the storm, a part of the debris. And it's a part of the things to recognize your own connections, what you're connected to, how you look at things, how you're connected, what things you depend on, what's your attitude about this, what's your attitude about that. You know, I think that this border stuff is just getting a lot of people to look at things a lot different. And that's what it's meant to do, to get you to wake up, to look at things differently. Because, it really is that we are free. There really should be no reason that they lock us into certain territories and tell us that's the only place we can go. We should be able to go wherever we want to go. We should be able to, we want to just walk. And that is another thing on the micro macro, where you have these people walking and showing like they're walking and walking, this walk towards freedom. And, and the promises I'm sure that they were made. But that is that innocence, that walk towards freedom. And then this angry culprit, this angry mob that is going to protect its borders. And it's like, it's so absurd. It's like this motherfucking fence is open all over the place. They're just cruising in, but this one little spot where they're creating this drama and you guys just jump on board, believe everything, and you need to go there and show support. Show support for what? What is it that you are trying to do? Like, I just do not understand this energy. There's so much more productive shit. And if you want to do something that is, moving man forward, go against the ones that are holding us back. Go against the corporations. And where does that hurt them the most? In their pocketbook. Quit buying their shit. Quit fucking funding them. Quit paying for their shit. So, but, they're all out paying for gas and hotels and just out there, doing the opposite. And rushing to go fight with people that they don't know. Over land. It's like you're just, it's just, it's just a lot to see so much stuff that people don't see. I know that some of y'all, anybody who listens to me all the time, I know that you guys have to see some of the stuff that I'm seeing too. It's just like, oh my gosh, but when you look around, it's like, it's so weird because you keep thinking, how does that other people not see? But you can only see what you can see. And the people who were brought to me, there's a reason for it. So, and I don't know. We'll just see. But I think that there's going to be some abrupt changes. You're coming up quick. It seems like, not just James O'Keefe has got something going. We got Vladimir. We got a lot of stuff going. And it's Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. So this week, and I don't know if it's a significant thing about starting a month. And there's another deadline. Oh, yeah, because that one was on TikTok. So all these people, because all these fucking people, they always put music in their videos. I find it so annoying, is you're trying to hear them while they're talking, and they'll have this loud music playing over them and songs and stuff. And there's a lot of them. I can't, and some of them, they will just put songs and then put words and stuff. But anyways, so TikTok shenanigans for this month, the ending for today, is that you can no longer, I wonder if some people don't know that there's a 31st. Maybe that's why they're saying 2-1, because they think that January 30th is the end, but there's a 31st. I don't know. This is so fucking wacky. But, anyways, whatever I was going to say. I don't even fucking know what I was saying. I was saying something. But, I don't know. We can all just put our own pieces together, I guess. I don't know what that was about to say. But the day, January 30th. Oh, because yeah. Okay, so the TikTok thing. Okay, yeah. And then I'm going to finish. Okay, so the TikTok thing. So so something with the music, their licensing or something is run out. So they had, it was okay to use the music for the period of time when they had it. So all these people who made these videos, their videos can't be seen because now it has music that isn't licensed over copyright laws or something. So all the people who were using that music, then they get this, because everything has this other side. And they all want to put this music, have this music in their things. And so, I don't know. There's all these different things have all got these other sides they're going to be playing out. All this, you see one side, you got to see the other side. You see this side, you got to see that side. Everything is just going to be showing you all these different sides. And like I said, it's all for you to readjust yourself, to start looking at things in a broader perspective, much broader, because before it was all based on limitation. So this is opening up for a much broader perspective. So all the different weird things, even though it's like, oh my God, that, oh my God, that, what about that? Well, that didn't, that, there's so much of this, but that is your reevaluation into the consumption of self, into the design of what you see and what you feel and how you look at things. So it all has a meaning and it all has purpose. Everything that's happening, all the things that seem bad and all the things that seem hard, there's a good reason. There's a positive side to it. But there's also things where people are super focused and think that something's all one thing. There's another side to that. So, everything is about seeing all sides. It's about seeing more and trying to see more than what you can see. Expanding your view, expanding your consciousness, looking and seeing more, understanding more, becoming more. So, and everything in the 3D is to hold you back, to keep you limited, to keep you small, to keep you dependent. So, and it's very uncomfortable to pull free. And it's very, like as watching it, and you've got this whole group of people who are now, they're going to go towards claiming this aging gracefully, and they're stopping coloring their hair and they're going in and it's like, oh my God, that's just a step because you don't even know you're in a fucking mineral defunct. So everything is just step. But you got to go through your steps because your steps is where you learn. So don't try and jump over your steps or skip your steps or think, well, if I just learn that quicker, this could happen or that could happen. No, you got to learn all the things. Everything's got it's a plan. It's got a formula. It's got the steps you're supposed to take, and the steps that you take are the ones you're supposed to take. And don't be down on yourself, and don't compare yourself, and don't feel like you're doing it wrong or you should be doing it like somebody else. Just do you. That is, you are deciding who you are. You are doing you. You are. So focus on that. Pull yourself back all the time to how you feel. What do you think? So, anyways, now I'm definitely gonna go. And I'm really not planning on recording again later today. But like, man, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just repeating the same things. Hopefully, I'm saying things that you guys are getting something out of all the time. It's like, oh yeah, I didn't think of that. That's always the fun part of sharing information and expansion. It's like when your brain expands, it's like a brain orgasm. It's like, oh yes. So anyways, everybody, hope for a good day of expansion. So anyways, enjoy your day of expansion, and I'll talk to you surely tomorrow. Surely. But I'm telling you, if something ludicrous goes down, some real shenanigans, I probably will, because I don't have anybody else to talk about to. So I come and talk to you guys about it, and then I wait for you guys to comment so I talk about it. Because there's nobody to talk about this shit with. Even when I talk to my family, they just always think I just sound wacky. And I can totally see, you know, yeah, I am wacky in their reality. I am total whack. So anyways, I'm glad I have all you wacky people with me. So anyways, I'll talk to you later.